Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Get it? It's a song. Let's take Annie out of the box.
I've been waiting and getting that you're gone for good. Think about it, burn your lighters, wish I only could forget you, but instead you keep appearing in my dreams like a vision. Your decision has been made as it seems. Don't leave me standing here like an idiot in the rain. Oh, I miss the tender kisses and the lovely smile.
Hello, we're looking at Anny. Anny is a 10-inch portable speaker, battery powered. It's got a built-in mixer, Bluetooth, can have wireless mics. You can wheel it around and all that stuff. And we're going to look at all those things. We're going to listen to it in the room, recorded with binaural mics. We're going to put a singer-songwriter through it. We're going to do a modeler, all that stuff. We're going to look at the effects. This is an in-depth video. If you're in the market for Anny, you will know after this video if it meets your criteria for a battery-powered mobile speaker or not. There are pros and cons. We're going to look at all of them. Big thanks to Adam Hall, who are behind LD Systems. Adam Hall is a group that has a lot of brands, and LD Systems is who makes Anny. Now, I'm sitting in a room that is filled with stuff from Adam Hall. There is a gravity glow stand. There are gravity clamps all over this truss system. We have cameo lights lighting me up. We have cameo lights making the room nice and colored. We have Defender cable run things. I mean, they're nice people. I like them. They're right around the corner, about half an hour from here. And they called me up and said, hey, can you look at Anny? And I said, I don't know Anny. Is she okay? Let's not go there again. So here Anny is. We already took her out of the box. Also, I got one of the accessories, actually kind of two of the accessories with it. One of the accessories is the cover, which we're going to look at and rave about like crazy in a bit. And they also gave me one of the wireless mics. This is a powered speaker. It runs on batteries. In eco mode, it runs, let me check this out, I think 25 hours. Eco mode simply means it's maybe not 100% that loud, and they're taking some of the low end out to save power. On full blast, full volume, which you always, I'm going to tell you, if you're spraying in the street or at a party, you are going to run it almost at full power to get the volume you desire. Just to let you know, you have 5 hours of battery life, but of course you can always just plug it in and charge it while it's playing, which is cool. Other systems cannot do that. It's either charging or playing. We have a mixer in this, which is 2 mic inputs. There is RCA or mini jack, and there's Bluetooth, and also 2 wireless inputs. And on other systems that I've tested, the wireless inputs are replacing the channels that are using the XLR or combo jacks. And on here, they are separate. So you're adding channels. So you're adding channel 5, 6 with the wireless. And if you're, let's say, doing a spinning class or something and you need a PA system without going through a mixer and a PA system installed, you need something for like a mobile PA system to do your workout. I think for yoga, do you need something that loud for yoga? Probably not. But there is a headset that you can get with it. For my uses, for music, headsets are kind of, unless you do musicals. They sent this to me with the mic. And that also means you get the antenna, and let me swing it around. I'm not going to go into all these things because I have an extra clip where we really go through the menu. Back here, you take the cap off. We have a BNC connection for the antenna, which for travel I recommend taking off. And then you got the mic. It boots up. All you do is the receiver is already installed when you buy this kit. Turn on the mic, and you are connected. It's that simple. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. We actually now have connection. Beautiful. I can here change the volume for the mic. Okay. The mic has gain right there. If you want to do this, and there's a high and low mode, it does not recharge. So it does run on its own battery. So that it means when you put it into that holder, it's really just a holder. It is not a recharger. It is also kind of microphonic. It's a microphone. A bit plasticky. Honestly, the mic is the weakest point for me of the system. It does not make you feel like a high-end kind of a thing. You can buy it with 2 of these, then it comes with 2 modules. You can always buy them later on, which I would probably recommend, and maybe wait until they, deliver this with a higher end mic, because I'm thinking many people will complain about that and they will hopefully upgrade to a better mic, because it is the only mic you can use with it. If they had delivered this with a receiver and a plug-in XLR transmitter, you could use any mic you want. But no, you can't. You have to use this, and it's not up to par with the quality of Anny itself. However, if you're doing sports stuff or you're doing talks and you're doing the headset mic, that's a different issue. I don't have that set here. You can get it with one of these and a headset, 2 headsets or 2 handhelds. But of course, always get them as add-ons later. So for me personally, I'm not going to go further into the mic. I would recommend not getting that and sticking with either a cable, which of course, always works, or get yourself some kind of, many companies do these, plug-in wireless. However, that means you do not have access to channel 5 and 6. If you need more channels, you have to use their microphone. If you don't need those channels, you can literally get any kind of wireless transmitter receiver, plug it into the XLR, and Bob's your uncle, you're good to go. We forget about the mic, we turn that off. Let's look at a couple of things for the speaker itself, and then we're gonna listen. Now, I think they did a lot of stuff right in terms of you being able to handle it. There are handles rather nice and deep on the left and right. It has some weight because it is a full 10, okay? There is a handle up here, rubberized, and you really can grab it there. And of course, there's the trolley handle. And you can wheel it around. That's what you really want, that's what you really want to do when you're busking. You want to wheel this, really wheel it. You want to really wheel this into the train, the bus, the whatever. Of course, you're going to, bump it into things. That's what's going to happen when you're in the city. But that is really cool. Really cool. Up here is a little groove. And that actually has rubber at the bottom, nicely designed. So you can actually put your phone in it. Or this is Leslie's phone. It's got a dog on it, of course. Look at it. Look at the doggy. That's X. So, this is a nice little detail. Grab it on the sides, grab it on top, grab it on the handle, and you need to grab it on the sides if you're putting it on a stand. Yes, because Anny has a flange, as we say in German, a hole in the bottom, so you can actually put it on the stand as a normal PA speaker. You can also, which is very cool, when you're streaming Bluetooth to it, actually stream Bluetooth stereo to 2 Annys. They're doing that, so you buy 2 of them. But if you wanted to use this as powered PA speakers for a wedding, left and right, and play music stereo for 5 hours at full blast, yes, you can. Now, of course, low end is going to be bigger when Anny is on the floor. As a Bluetooth speaker, Anny has power, it's big. There's massive low end, really massive low end, especially when you go to the music setting because they're boosting the low end. But the difference between Anny and other speaker systems is that this is really the actual low end. Other speaker systems are doing psychoacoustic stuff, meaning they have a small speaker and then maybe other small speakers. And they're giving you the impressions that there is a lot of low end by adding higher harmonics that your brain kind of calculates to be, the lower harmonics. It works. It's nice. This has weight and size because it actually gives you the real low end. Make sense? And there is quite a bit of it. Now, when you're running the mic into it, or the acoustic guitar, or even the modeler, I found that to really get a bigger sound, we had to crank Anny to full volume and also really take the individual levels on the channels quite up. So the question is, and I did that because I was thinking, well, I want to do, a bar, a pub, and really fill it. Well, is that what Anny is for? It's for busking. And for busking as a musician, it absolutely is more than loud enough. It is for the wedding. Oh, now the question is, how big is your wedding? That's really all that we have to ask ourselves. And I'm going to say a small wedding, yes. If there's 300 people in a big tent, maybe you want 2 or a different system. If it's for speakers, a talk on stage, yeah, it'll help you out quite a bit. It's not going to be, oh my God, it's so loud. No, it's for the sport guy in a spinning class, in an aerobics class, absolutely fine. And for that, the great thing is there's actually decking on the mic channels, meaning you can run Bluetooth from your phone, if it has a dog on it, only then. And talk into a mic and say, every time you talk into the mic, please duck the music down. That is thinking there at LD Systems. Absolutely killer. No matter how loud you're going to make it, there is not going to be distortion on the actual speaker because of something they call Dynex DSP Gen 2. I don't know what that means, but point is, you can crank the shit out of it. I already said you get up to 25 hours on the battery. Now, if that's not enough, on eco mode, if that's not enough, you could take the batteries out. They sell you replacement ones. On Anny 10, I don't know, because you open that little cubby hole and it literally looks like car batteries. There's cables attached. It's not like shove it in there and the contacts are automatically on the battery. It's not consumer friendly, let's say that. It feels like, okay, I'm going to have to take cables out and batteries that have quite some juice. No, thank you. I don't know. I would not necessarily recommend that. However, are you going to busk more than 5 hours at full volume? At a wedding, possibly you need more than 5 hours at full volume. Just use a freaking cable. Plug her in. You can. Her. I love that they call it Anny. That's just good. Of course, another use is at the park, at the party, at the anywhere. Anywhere. Get it? Are you okay? Still not funny. As a music speaker, it does have quite a bit of punch as a speaker. Now, do you want to spend that much money on a speaker if you don't even know what an XLR cable does? Are there other speakers of its size and power and battery life from, let's say, consumer companies that can do what Anny does? I don't know. And I'm going to say at the price of street price, estimated maybe $699, with that power, I'm going to say if you're looking for a Bluetooth speaker only, it's still fairly priced. And you can, of course, get a wireless mic, or maybe use your own, which is what I would recommend. Will they have a trolley handle? Will they have input for RCA and all that stuff? Who knows? I'm going to say no. So first, we've already covered quite a bit. We're going to go and look at a song performed with acoustic guitar and a plugged-in SM57 and see what that sounds like. I highly recommend, because otherwise it will not be correct, to use headphones for the next section, because it is filmed with a binaural microphone, meaning they're literally silicone ears with microphones inside, so that when you put on headphones, you are pretty much in the room with us. So please do that.
Lost the ground beneath your feet, lost your balance and foundation, feel your misery's complete, you've reached the peak of your frustration. But when everything goes south and the walls come crashing down, remember now things built to last, this too shall pass. Now that everything's been burned, something rising from the wreckage, wheel of fortune somehow turned, the gods of luck received your message. But when everything goes right Take the hurdles in your stride. Remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass. See the envy in their eyes. Don't even trust your own companions. You hear that swelled and twisted lies. You feel them rise up in rebellion. When you're alone against the world, when you're denied what you deserve, remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass. Now you're left without a thing. Once you're freed from all possessions, you're feeling richer than a king. Feel you found the right direction. And when all the stars align, better take that as a sign. Remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass. There ain't no summer without rain. There ain't no fall without the gain. Remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass.
So I have to say that sounds fairly good. I did want the SM58 to have a bit more top end. But I couldn't because there's a global EQ on Anny, but there isn't an EQ for the individual channels. I find that, because it's digital, a pretty big oversight. Because you might want to roll off the EQ for your mic, add some top end, but you can't. You can only do that for everything. What if I wanted to tweak the acoustic guitar a bit and tweak the mic a bit to balance? You can't. Yeah. That should be something they add in a software update. Please do that. Talking about software update, I don't know if it is for software update, but there is a USB output which gives you 5-volt power to any kind of devices that you want. So you can literally power this indefinitely with the batteries that are in there. Talking about indefinitely, of course not, but I mean for quite a while. So let's take a deep dive into the interface on the back. So let's take a look at the backside. We got the wireless mic. I'm just going to click up here, get the wireless mic out, turn it on, and then we got volume. We turn that on. It automatically syncs, and we have level here. So we got level right there, which would be on hello, input 5 and input 6. So these are separate inputs and not taking over input 1 and 2. There's a sync, which we don't need because the mic syncs automatically. There's a mute level, which is something about frequency dropout and when it mutes and when it doesn't. And then you can pick, of course, different channels, which you don't really need to do because it just works. So put that back in there and actually put the antenna back in there. So the back panel. Main volume is also a clicky switch. We got effect, which is a master effect level, a little bit wobbly there, all a little bit wobbly. Master effect, you can turn it all the way off. Input 1 and 2, dynamic only, mic or line switch right there. Combo jacks with XLR or 1/4 inch. There's a mix output, so you can take everything out to another speaker or a mixer, whatever. And there's a foot switch to turn the effect on and off. Very simple. The foot switch is included, but very simple input. We've got these covered RCA inputs. So on channel 3 or 4 would be, or 3 and 4 actually. 3 is a stereo input with a mini jack or RCA, and they're actually going both on 3, 4 together, but both of them stereo. So RCA is probably, for the, vinyl people, but this is more of a mini jack. You can charge your devices, 5-volt, 2 amps, right here with USB-C. Very nice. There's the battery level. That's the level for 3 and 4. And here's the level for Bluetooth. And let's look at the menu. the preset is right now on live. We have a large reverb. There's channel 1, 2, 3 and 4 shown together, and 5 and 6 shown together. 3 and 4 also shows Bluetooth when it's connected. Right now it's flashing, so I probably have to connect something. There's also the battery status up there. Main volume goes up to +12 and then, down. So you click that. Then we are in the menu. We can set up the Bluetooth, which I will do later. Audio. So you can set up the EQ high, mid, and low, but you can also pick a preset which will pick that for you. So right now there's on vocal a lot less low end, so it's not so boomy, which is nice for talking. What I do? Audio preset economy will take it down in the mids, and that actually the echo setting will make the battery last quite a bit longer. And then there's the flat setting, which guess what? It's all flat. Or the music setting, which boosts the low end considerably for oomps, 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 oomps. But I think the live makes the most sense for what we have planned here tonight. Effects. There's a small reverb, large reverb, plate reverb, and the delay. The delay is not a dung-dung, it's not an echo. It really is a very, very, very short slap back, almost not really noticeable as a delay, so don't think you can actually get actual delays happening. I picked the large reverb, and you can also turn it off, but you could also turn it off this way. We'll stick with the large reverb, and then there are the sends. This is, of course, your send, but you can pick your send for 1, independent of 2, so that's these two, and then sadly 5, 6, which are the wireless up here, have a shared send. So if you want individual sends for 5 and 6 for the 2 wireless, you cannot have that. That is shared. But of course, you can have it separate for the 2 plugged in ones. There's no effect send for 3, 4, or 4 Bluetooth, which really makes sense. And the last thing is LCD dim. That's on and off. I don't see it dimming, but okay, maybe it's automatic. That's the brightness for the LCD. Contrast for the LCD, info, and factory default. That is it. Relatively straightforward. Realistically, presets, and then pick your effects, and then master effect right here. Volume, 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 volume. Pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated, nothing that you have to read a manual for, and you can see the levels right there. Now, this is a guitar channel, and we will test how this sounds with a modeler plugged in. They said, oh, that's not what it's made for. Bullshit! Because it's actually pretty damn good. I had a blast, as the next video will show you. I pumped elevator jam tracks through the phone, Bluetooth into it, and played a quad cortex, which, by the way, was powered with a PWT-12 from Palmer, which is another Adam Hall company. Yeah, it fully works if you want to do that. And there's quite a bit of, juice to do that. So if you want to roll it into the street somewhere and just noodle and noodle and noodle it away as a guitar player, you can absolutely do that. I think we're done. I think we covered the uses from talking to your herd of people on bicycles through getting drunk in the park and doing the oomps, 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 or whatever music you want to pump through this. There's a lot of bass, trust me, it is a full big-ass speaker. Volume for Bluetooth is fine. Volume for the mic inputs could use some help to really be there. It's enough, but I wish there was a tiny bit more. I like the handles and all that stuff. Before we get to the last thing, which is the cover, which is brilliant, I'm going to bitch about one more thing, which is the wheels they're great, and I trust that they have a long life, but they don't give the speaker a lot of clearance. There's this much clearance. I'm going to show you what I did when I first rode it up and down the street. I came down the street and said hi to my dog on the opposite side of the street, and I dragged Annie across the sidewalk very gently once. And what happened is this. That tiny bit that you just saw there resulted in the bottom being quite scratched up. So if you're going to drag this over sidewalks and through the city and buses and whatever, that lip at the bottom will absolutely get damaged. Now, I feel they should have foreseen this and put a little bit of hard plastic there to clip in and then exchange it, or a little metal strip. And it's empty at the bottom, so you could really click this in. Maybe you do this yourself when you get it, and then there's no danger. But that's something that I think they should have seen happening and then, prevent it by just adding a metal strip. But you can do that because now I'm telling you. Is that a reason not to buy it? Absolutely not. But now you know. Let's look at, I think, the most brilliant part of this whole system. I don't know how much this is as an add-on, but this case is ridiculous. These are padded sides. They're nicely padded. You can put shit in there and quite a bit on each side, and it absolutely does not get damaged. You can open one of these sides to get to the handle and the trolley. You can open the other side to get to the mics. And of course, it also holds other mics, not just the proprietary ones. You can open these sides, left and right, to get to the grabby handles. You can of course open the back. Let me throw a clip in there. And in the back, there's also little Velcro things so that you can shove the antenna through. So you could have this running with the antennas, with the case on it. And then on front, that is great because you can of course open this up, roll it up. It doesn't expose your speaker. There's still a nice padded mesh on it so that rain can't get to it. This is of course not waterproof, but some rain isn't going to hurt your speaker. This is what you should 100% get with your Anny. It is ridiculously good. Everything that you would want on a case, and all the access and bags and the mesh, everything. They thought about every single detail. I'm a bit flabbergasted how they can think about every single detail on this, which is brilliant, and then not ever drag it across a sidewalk and find out that it scratches at the bottom. There's a lot of thought that went into one piece, and one or two thoughts missing on something else. Again, not preventative in terms of buying it, but you should know. Now, you can get Anny for $6.99 by itself, which is what I recommend buying. If you need the handheld or one mic with it, you're looking at, I think, $8.99. So technically, you're getting a wireless mic for $200. I mean, bang for the buck, very fair. Or you're getting it with two at about $1,069, something like this. So the second one actually comes in cheaper. So yeah, you're not buying a super high-end wireless technology or mics. So if you really want something, especially like a headset for your sports thing or your speeches at $200 extra, it's pretty fair because I don't think you're going to get any system at that price. So given bang for the buck, the wireless stuff is still fine. Also, it adds 2 channels. However, by the way, channel 5 and 6, which is where the wireless mics are sharing their effects, which is kind of weird. 1 and 2 is separate, and then 5 and 6 is together. So whatever is on 5 and 6, the mix for the effect is not individually adjustable. Kind of weird. Also, the effects. Let's look at those. There's 3 different reverbs and a delay, which I expected to be an echo.
Effect off. Effect off. Effect off. Effect off.
Who's effect off? Small reverb.
Small reverb. Small reverb. Small reverb. Small reverb.
Large reverb.
Large reverb. Large reverb. Large reverb.
Plate reverb.
Plate reverb. Plate reverb. Plate reverb. Plate reverb.
Delay.
Delay AA. Delay. 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 Delay.
Thank you. The reverb's okay. Doesn't floor me, but it's okay. The delay is weird. The delay gives you that really, really short slapback that you get in a bad room at a wedding, and you're like, what did the guy say? That kind of a thing. Why would you want that? Because when you put that in a room, then you have a main vocal, the tiny slapback that makes the main vocal less understandable, and then you're in a room where that even gets worse through the walls. Why in the world would anyone want that effect? Maybe I'm overlooking something. So far, I haven't had a good answer from anyone. I would like LD Systems to tell me what they were thinking with that. It feels like that should be a delay for fun. But there's, of course, no adjustments to that. There's no delay time or anything. So that's a setting that you should stay away from. But the reverb is fine, and it can, of course, be adjusted. Bang for the buck. I have had other systems from other companies that I've tested. This clocksing at less money is more powerful in terms of the low end, and is the only one that has wheels and a trolley handle. And it has more channels if you work with the built-in wireless. So, I think you now have all the information. This is a long-ass video, but this is the video that tells you everything you need to know. And if you're looking for a mobile system at street price, roughly $699, you can't really go wrong, because I'm going to say even consumer systems are going to be more and less flexible in terms of ins and outs. I'll put links below. Please use them. That really helps the channel. Thank you, LD Systems, for trusting me and for letting me, say whatever I need to say. That's very important. And for, we had many conversations. Every time I found a little thing, I called them up and said, look, that's kind of, what do you think about that? And why doesn't this do this? And what about the scratchy app thing? So there's definitely conversations with the company happening, but they can't control what I say, because this is what a review is. And they didn't try. So I give them major props for that. Thank you, Adam Hall and LD Systems, for, letting me be who I am. Links below. Please use them. That really helps. And animals at the end.